together with having that drawings from the architect, we start working on space planning. And like I was saying, space planning is internal configuration of the building. This means where the walls are positioned and the furniture, where the furniture is located as well.
And at that stage, you're prepared to move walls, sort of non-structural walls, in relation to what's on the architect's plans for those rooms may not necessarily, from your experience of understanding, the functionality and the way the tenants are going to live and that avatar, there may be certain internal changes at that point that you're recommending prior to them being built and prior to that cost being laid out.
We tried as much as possible to minimize changes and cost, together with this. But we have to understand that interior design should be a process that it should be looked at, that you're building something from the inside out. Because you come to the property, go in, and this is where you live. So let's say if your tenant requires this many items in the room, that might require for us to change the footprint of the room itself to fit that many items in the room.
Well, I always say, from my valuation perspective, with HMOs, tenants live inside out more than any. So if we've got think about Milton Keynes or anywhere where you've got a 3-story ex-local authority property, which is a townhouse from the 70s or 60s, which doesn't look very nice. It's just a boring townhouse with a garage conversion. Residential homeowners would always go, well, I quite like the bay-fronted Victorian properties. They look nice. They're a nicer family home. But for HMOs, if you've got a 6-bedroom townhouse, the tenants just come in and look at their room as that's what they're selling and that's what they're buying.
Of course.
So that applies to the valuation and the filling. But you're saying from the interior design perspective,
you would start thinking about, okay, which size bed they're gonna have. Do they have a bedside cabinet or not? Which size wardrobe? Do they have a desk? Do they have a kitchenette? All these kind of things. Which kind of storage? Do they have a chest of drawer? So that means if you start plotting all these items in the room, and then you realize that you need a bit more to the left, so then you say, why not move this wall a bit? We need another 30 centimeters just to allow for this. And then doesn't, compromise the other room, So it's quite easy to do at this stage because obviously your stud walls are not in place. So you can easily do that rather than go with some generic drawings that you have and then realizing further down the line, we should have done this, we should have done that. It's too late now. It obviously, you're going to have extra material cost, extra labor cost. So we're trying to avoid that as much as possible at this stage, which is space planning. So pretty much we take the drawings that we have from the architects, we have a look at those, and then apply everything that we discuss in the design brief, and apply it into these floor plans. So we go through a process, and then usually we present something, and then we have another discussion, and then we start moving things around. What about this? What about this?
And at what point are you creating the renders sort of to visualize? Is it important for the developers and your clients at that point? Do they really respond well to seeing the room in visualization?
It's only when we discuss everything in 2D and then we go through changes. Usually we come up with a proposed solution, and then 2 sets of changes if needed. And then only when we're happy with what we've done in 2D, that everything is being transferred and it goes from 2D to 3D.
Right.
And then we start looking at the rooms, but everything that is done in 3D is based on what we've done on 2D. So then this takes us to the next step, which is doing the realistic renders.